Alright, so I'm really excited for this video because it's a beautiful time in my life. An extremely challenging time in my life as well. Don't get me wrong on that. Train right at the start. Ding, ding, ding. It's like a cowbell. Alright. So, sensefulness is a hugely valuable thing to be familiar with. If you want to be using your whole body, essentially our whole body is the thing that we have, right? You know, so you might as well want to make use of it, right? To me, it just makes sense that a development towards a fully sensible experience of life in the right place in the right time will lead us along a pathway of life that makes the most use of the life that we're given. So, to start my sensefulness and to start a greater respect for all perspectives and for all people, I realized, and this was a big thing for me, because I actually used to get kind of upset at some people, just like in general, because like, you know, some people bullshit a lot. Some people's lives are made for bullshitting, like, and I mean that in a sense of making jokes or just talking trash bullshit that is somewhat meaningless, you know, to me, but they're having fun with it, so I don't know, you know, it's them. Something that helped me connect my life, I want to say almost completely, is for something to exist, it has to make sense somehow. It has to make sense somehow. For it to exist, it has to make sense somehow. Doesn't that just make sense? You know? From some perspective, usually that's what it comes down to. It's a perspective. You know? And if you can find that link, you'll be able to understand other people. And also, not only that, just the general injection. I came up with inflection first, but just the general process, activity, and awareness and respect, really, respect, it will naturally create a more sensible experience for yourself, because I mean, we all have the human body, right? I have a human body. That person that I don't understand has a human body, though, right? And they're living in this world, this planet, this natural ecosystem, universe. I have this body, they have this body. We're living in this universe. You're living in this universe. So, your perspective, seemingly, previously, I don't understand, that perspective over there, they have to make sense somehow. They're laughing at that, and I'm not laughing at that. But from some angle, shift in perspective, from some angle, they see that as funny, right? Maybe it's the history that they've had. Maybe it's this old guy that had some wisdom for that person's life that said take it more easily, something, you know, and like they just take life a little more easily and bullshit around and like nothing matters, yay. Maybe they got influenced by the nihilistic perspective and spewing garbage from my perspective, right? But that's making sense of it. In a way, that's making sense of it, right? Even if I don't agree with it, it makes sense that it exists somehow, you know? And that's helped me broaden that general process. The general respect has helped me broaden my appreciation and love for people. And also, I mean, I'm kind of merging this now as like, musically, if there's something you previously didn't like, I don't know. All it is because you don't understand where it fits in the musical. Like, if life is a musical, and you see that one person over there, and to relate, it's that one note that doesn't ring right in your ear just yet. It's just because you don't know how to appreciate that note just now. But notes always are just sound. They're just a sound. Sounds are part of a spectrum, although divided chromatically like this. The line of the string is just a spectrum, right? Tone would be fluid if there was no frets. You know, a fretless thing goes to wow, wow, ooh, whatever. So, the life being a musical thing, it's existing. Hello. Like, that person over there is chirping away their bird calls, and it's called bullshit, right? From this perspective. But from some angle, they know something about that musical note that I don't. And somehow, that compels them to live the way they do. That's the truth behind it. We compel. They have a will. You know, things that connect us are oftentimes like the adjectives, in a way, you know. Or like the things that describe our feelings. That connects us. A feeling of being compelled, a forceful direction towards will, in a way. I have that in me. He has that in me, or in him, you know. Likely, if he said that thing, there's some sort of thing that's compelling him to say the thing. I understand what it feels like to be compelled. I understand what it feels like to be inspired. Therefore, I can make sense of that. I understand that. I understand you. Now, that's great. And if you don't prefer to be around that style of music, that's fine too. Go ahead and leave, you know? Then you two, those two musical notes, like, okay, those are actually pretty common. But like, what is it? That's really wacky right there. So this combination is rare. So you and that person are a little bit rare. At this time, you can appreciate them because in the musical of life, it's time for them to express themselves. But a lot of times, you know, we go back to the where a lot of people are at. Oh, you know, this is common. A major chord, super common. Right? You're not gonna, unless the song is about investigating the strangeness of unless it's about investigating this scenario, you're likely to not experience very much. You're likely to not experience that thing that doesn't resonate with you very much, because that's what life is. Life is like a musical, right? If you don't vibe with that person, you're probably only going to come in and out of that person's life in a small amount of times. Assuming that the musical of life has a tendency to normalize towards some sort of thing. Which it seems like there is. There's a normalcy in our culture, in our lives. There's a collective sense of commonality, which creates a certain kind of bell curve within possible expressions, right? There's always a little bit of outliers, and that's kind of what this is. That's like an outlier in the experience of life. So, look, you can be senseful, respect, and even love the strangeness of that person or of this chord. You know, whatever. But you don't have to be around it. You can go, man. If your feelings are like, bro, man. I'm out of here, man. You know, I only want to be with that music for a little bit. Now, sometimes you might be stuck with that person. And it's like investigating that fucking musical, right? Really weird. Yeah, there's variations, right? You know? And that's cool, man. Like, whatever, man. Just be sensible, man. And this is, you know, I'm going to be getting better and better at this. Like, I'm still not a master at this thing. And there's also a process of bridging the mouth and this thing together. Still need to work on, obviously. But I got some tricks up my sleeve, man. I got some tricks up my sleeve, man. So sensefulness is extremely valuable. If your life values senses, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're a normal person that just wants normal shit, by all means, play around with the fucking major chords all day. I do this because it makes me feel a little bit corny. Because I'm a little bit more complicated. Need some question in there. You know? Alright. I don't know how much you can really hear that. Turn your fucking volume all the way up. I'll probably turn on my fucking amp someday and, you know, do it, but I wasn't really planning on... It just kind of came out, you know? And, I will be connecting the music of this thing and the music of life a lot more in the future. So... Yeah. Alright. Sensefulness. Very important. You'll start to hear it. I mean, this is baby steps, you guys. Like, every single day that happens, yesterday it was obsolete. It's funny. That kind of happens in life in general. But I really respect life. So I find and follow the change and learn, you know. Yeah, man. I let things be obsolete and I fucking grow really fast. And absolutely beautiful. I'm getting there. I want to say I'm fucking ready. But there's just so much. Maybe that's what this time is, right? I'm like starting to get this stuff in here. Alright. That's gonna be it. Just want to keep talking because I enjoy the company. Enjoy the company of speaking and knowing that there's at least one other person on the other side that feels a little bit similarly. Okay. I like Jim Carrey. Every now and again it comes out of me. He's a very creative man, you know. Somebody to be able to control and manipulate actors, man. Actors, think about it. Actors play with that. Actors play with their senses. They conjure up the feeling of something that's unfamiliar to them, another person, and they become so compelling. They understand the compelling nature of that other thing so well that we believe it as an audience. And we're like, oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. This person is like, this person is dying. This person is watching another person die. This isn't a movie. You know? That's fucking compelling. And those people are extremely skilled with their respect of humanity, really. And a great actor, a very versatile actor, is going to be somebody who's not afraid of emotions, but instead invites it and bleeds it. You know what I mean? Eat, sleep, drink, fucking fuck, acting. I mean, in a good way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything. You'll fucking bleed acting. Versatile person. A versatile person. Maybe that's the word I've been kind of going towards. Versatile. Versatile is very valuable. Wonder if there's a connection there. It, I, all. Valuable. You, able, baby. The origins of language is very interesting. if you take the time. Not everybody has the time for it. Which is, please, nice segue to go into my Patreon page, because all of this creativity, all of this time comes together and brings everything all together, and life creates together, right? Okay, if you want to go check that out, by all means, do what you gotta do. Yeah, it's gonna be the end now. I spend a lot of time being focused on the right things for this individual. It's very hard for me to work for society sometimes when I don't understand it and I don't necessarily agree with it, with the ways of life. You know, a lot of it's very wasteful. Sometimes it's very hard for me to get through a day when I know that this bullshit is very wasteful and it's a fucking luxury and you guys are treating it like a commodity. You know what I mean? So any support is truly hugely helpful, because I get to take that time to just be like purely investigative inwardly, and all of this, man, all of this investigation towards myself, it would be no fun without anybody else, you know. So I'm trying to encourage people to be their greatest version, right? And to be the most versatile, so that we can like play together in the funnest fucking way possible and use all the strange things in the right time, right? Use the strange in the strange fucking times. There's a time for strangeness, right? And that's what I'm talking about when I once said in a video, like, we could have a chillax Earth party right now if we were just all very versatile human beings. We respected each other. We were senseful about it, you know? Like, we don't need to come to this person, to this guitar sound that is like sketchy, and come to it and just want to punch in the face. No, you can be like, you're sketchy, and the other person's like, you're sketchy, and just be like, fucking life, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, it would be a nice little party, you know? Hey, what's up, weirdo? You look weird to me. Kind of scaring me a little bit. Wow. What you doing over there? Huh? Huh? Oh, well, you look like a fucking, yeah, I don't know. If we are versatile in our senses and in our appreciation for uniqueness, you know, life would be a lot more, it's kind of like chillax, you know? It's like, well, there's that guy over there. Hello. Instead of being like, you know, some people are really disgusted just by the sight of another human being. How weird. Like, and how unfortunate. I mean, from my perspective, that's unfortunate to me. Like, you have the ability to connect with a life that is reflecting uniquely. I mean, that life has had such a unique life that if you went up and talked to it, you'd probably be really surprised, you know? I mean, a lot of those scenarios, we would all be really surprised if we just sat down and talked to each other. We'd be surprised that we have a lot of similarities, a lot of the same struggles, you know? We all have challenges. We all have a life that's relatable, you know? If we just sit down and talk to people about it. And be honest, right? And also, like I said in a different video, not judge people based on your own life. Like, something's only bad to you unless you reflect upon it upon the whole culture. Then you can maybe invite. That's the best thing you can do, is give an invitation to the other person. And say, well, you know, from the perspective of the whole, if everybody's trying to do all this stuff at the same time and you're kind of in the middle of it and you're kind of like, you know, people have to walk around you and it's kind of disturbing and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe that's not very helpful for the whole, you know. Maybe you should consider not doing what you're doing right now, you know. That's a respectful conversation that gets towards the fact that what they may be doing is not very good. Now, to them, they're doing something that's good. Unless they're just like faithless degenerates, which in that means they're probably going to die in a few years anyways, you know? Like, what do you got going for you if you don't have any will to live? You know, if you don't actually excited, you're probably going to die soon. Don't worry if you're not, like, super compelled or something like that, but the will to live is vast, you know? I said that in a different video. I made a funny example in a different video, in my opinion. But yeah, we could have these conversations if we just respected what we're talking about. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. Just respect what we're talking about. And, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feels good. I'm glad there's still some connection between us. And I want to work more in person in the future, but we'll just see what happens. You know, if people are going to be putting on virtual reality helmets, I'm probably not going to be working in the person with them. Maybe I'll be working in the VR helmet with them. But I mean, if I could, I'd bring all of you people who want to like listen here or like share ideas. Like, I'd fucking teleport you here if we could. You know what I mean? I'm excited. Okay. And it's gonna be done. This video's done, I think. Is it? I'm just kind of like feeling out. Something you gotta do. Maybe there's something else in here. What my internal dialogue was, oh great spirit, may it be blessed that we experience life together. So to me that means there's nothing more to say. And it's good. Oh, I really like this position right now for some reason. Maybe I need to stretch my neck on that side. You know, this is sensefulness right here. This is a demonstration of sensefulness. And what happens when you relax? When you relax, does your body contort a certain way? That means that there's something a little bit off here. Stretch. Off in terms of the purely anatomical human being. Okay. That's gonna be it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad we can connect. You give me some purpose in my life. I mean, I'd share this regardless of anything, but like, I'm glad that we can have some return both ways. So yeah, gonna head out on that note. Oh, stretching. It's gonna be great. Yes.